elixir, the absolute elixir. If you're creative, this is an elixir. It's like the creative elixir, the creative alchemy. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today, I'd like to offer not advice. I'm not offering advice, but in the spirit of not offering advice, I'd like to save you 500 years of anguish if you're a creator, an artist, a designer, a visual entrepreneur, someone who's working, using their creativity to do stuff in the world. Yeah, I'd like to save you maybe like I said, 500 years of angst, and in the end questioning whether you should be a creative at all. And then we're at this other end of it. It's got even deeper now, because now we've got AI. So we've got AI, the spectre of AI that is threatening to wipe all creatives off the face of the earth with its so-called proficient brilliance, and it doing stuff much better than us. So in a way, what I'd like to do is kind of just go through what the setup really, because I just want to be clear about how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through the setup and probably go through some of the things that you've been told that you should, in inverted commas, be doing. And then I'm going to give you the elixir, the absolute elixir. If you're creative, this is an elixir. It's like the creative elixir, the creative alchemy that will save you huge amounts of heartache and problems. And also the other thing is that I'm going to be sharing some hard truths here, because let's not kid around. There are some hard truths, and there's some real soul searching that comes about as living a life of a creative, as an artist, as an expresser, as a channel. I nearly said expresser, but as a channeler of the creative spirit, the vital flame. It don't come easy, People think artists, you're just milling around creating art all day. But we live in this thing called a culture. And a lot of us live in these systems where, we've got to bring in money. We've got to support things. We've got to support family. We've got to put food on the table. We've got to pay rent. We've got to pay mortgages. We've got to keep things going. Yeah. So we can't live on fresh air. We can't be in this environment where, everything's wonderful. We know we're artists. We just get up every morning, do what we want and stuff like that. So there is a hard edge to this. And especially now, there's a hard edge to what's coming down the pipeline. And I think we just got to face it full on. So if you're creative, you're an artist, designer, anything like that, creative-led entrepreneur, there's things coming down the pipeline that on one level may seem threatening, but like I said, I'm going to offer you the elixir to this, because this is how you really, I've been in this game for over 40 years, and I've worked at the highest level. I've worked with iconic creators. I've been a professional, in inverted commas, not so professional sometimes, creative. Yeah, I'm also, as an artist, I count myself as an agent of chaos and in the same paradoxical breath, an agent of love as well. So these things, mixing all these different energies together, yeah, the shaman, the trickster, the warrior, the healer, all of these different archetypes. In a way, there's so much coming at you as a creative now. Yeah, there's so many things that are pulling at you. You should be here, you should be doing video. Don't do stills, it's all video. Don't bother doing that. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. And it's overwhelming. Now, I talk to creative people all the time. Creative people running businesses, artists, designers, writers, musicians. So I'm in the mix with these people, and like a lot of them say to me, well, look, I don't quite understand, you come from the dinosaur age, with what, in a sense, like I was one of the first people to use Photoshop, and it kind of had 2 layers and stuff like that. And because I always back in the day, I had no money when I first started out, so I was always using like pirated stuff that was always almost like put together with bits of like virtual sticking tape. So I've never ever learned how to use even Photoshop, never learned how to use Illustrator, never, you know, but somehow, you know, I've kind of taught myself in kind of weird ways how these things work, and use them as tools to create art, to bring in things that I've done by hand. So in a way, I'm completely sort of not competent in most of what's going on now. I'm completely not competent in it. But people say to me, well, how come you're still getting people come to you to do their brand, people come to you to do one-off images, works of art, this, that. People come to you for your coaching and mentoring and your guide. You know, what's the secret? Like I said, over 40 years of being in the game of being a creative and facing all the ups and downs, all of the pushes and shoves, the meteoric rises, the heroic failures, and all of those things. And there's really only one single thing. Well, actually, it's more one single thing. Let me go into it. Right? Okay. So, first of all, just what, you know, if you're flying around on all these different things, just stop, take a deep breath, calm. Okay, so the most fundamental thing that you need to really understand is that when you first started doing this, I mean, like, go all the way back to being a child, yeah, and first discovering the idea of creating as a child. Now, you did that. There was a sense of wonder in it. There was a sense of complete innocence in it. You didn't have people saying you've got to boost the post or do this or do that. You didn't have to worry about, you know, how many people are looking at your stuff, how many likes you've got, how many people, you know, are approving of you or not approve. You know, somebody gave you some paints or some crayons or some pencils, and you just got on with it. There was an innocence in it. It was like creating just for the love of it. So the very first thing that you really have to understand is that you can't lose that sense of wonder and spontaneous wonder at the fact that there's even this thing that you do called creating. But the thing is, because of where we're at in the adult world, in normal world, you can't just stay like a child. Yeah, unless like someone's going to pay you infinitely to do that. Yeah. So really what you're looking for is to maintain the childlike wonder, this childlike wonder, curiosity. That's what this is it. This is where it all comes to, curiosity. The wonderful curiosity of exploring, finding new things, unusual ways. Oh, wow. And, you know, as a creative, we all know what that's like. It's beautiful when it comes about. It's beautiful. There's a beauty in that innocence. Yeah. But what we want is that combined with the wisdom and the experience and the fortitude and the resilience of being a competent, wise adult. So we want those things to come together. Yeah. And the way that I've found, I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but like I said, I'm still somehow relevant in what I'm up to. I'm busy. I'm working with people. I'm helping creatives. I'm still at it. And there's people there's incredibly talented artists and designers that I talk to that they're in their 20s or in their 30s. And they're already thinking, you know, I can't carry on. You know, AI is going to sweep me away. But here's the thing, yeah? when you link your creativity, your art, your gift, when that is interwoven with a compelling vision, then something else happens. It's like an emergent quality. Something takes place. And the compelling vision is the why. It's linking it to a function in the world to bring something meaningful to life in the world through your creativity. So it's something that just transcends the little old you struggling away, trying to sell a few works of art, trying to get a few commissions, trying to do this or trying to do that. It transcends that. So the compelling vision, you enter into a dynamic, symbiotic relationship with a compelling vision. Now, how do you get a compelling vision? It just doesn't, I mean, you know, some people are just lucky and it's like it's just beamed into them. Actually, it's beamed into everyone. But there has to be an openness to this. There has to be an inquiring, an open inquiring. Again, curiosity. Now, that compelling vision is like, let's put it this way. It's adding value and a sense of greater wonder to the world. It's bringing something to life that lights up the world in a unique way, the unique way that you can light up the world. But that compelling vision is, again, it's not who you are. It comes from somewhere else. It comes from the great mystery, the great unknown. And that compelling vision is something that is literally moves through you, and you become the agent that delivers that compelling vision. Now, where does the childlike wonder come into that? Well, you see, the more you step into kind of delivering and marrying and merging with the compelling vision, it's like you start to work together into, like I said, this dynamic relationship. And in that, it's almost like at some point your hands come off the wheel and something else, this higher energy starts to emerge in what you're doing, how you're talking about the stories that you bring to life through your creativity. So it's an energetic thing. It's a transmission. It's a reason that people pick up on you. So it's greater. So we're obsessed with the end result. You know, this is the, oh, and it looks great. This is what all this AI, it looks great. It looks better than half the artists on the planet. Yeah, sure. But you see, that hasn't gone through. It hasn't fallen in love. It hasn't felt the pain, the disappointment, the rejection. It hasn't felt the elation. Hasn't felt the blood rushing through a nervous system. Does blood run through? No, maybe it doesn't. But it hasn't felt the synaptic interplay that goes on every time you create something. All of the connections, yeah? So really what this compelling vision does, it brings things to life through you. And your creativity becomes a mechanism to express this in the world. Now, the other thing that it does, it fortifies you. It gives you an inner strength, a power. It gives you an inner strength and power to move forward in the world, to overcome resistance, to shape things, to bring things to life, because there's a real compelling reason to do that. It guides you. Like I said, you enter into a dynamic relationship with it. It's not something that you just put down. So when things get tough, you sit down and it's like having a daemon, like like Socrates had, Plato. The idea that this compelling vision is almost like in communication with what you might say is your soul. And these energies are working together, and they bring you to life. They give you power, real power, not force. So you start to become more discerning. You don't do the things that pull you away from that. You stop compromising. You stop, like I've said in other videos, becoming a two-bit peddler, like peddling your wares on these systems that are not built to help you really succeed. Because the thing that will take you through the hard times, keep you going when most people, like I said, success arrives at the point beyond where most people would give up. And I've said in other videos that, this idea of not giving up is a form of genius. And as a creator, the world needs the energy of us creators. It doesn't need large language models to do what we do. They cannot do what we do. So this is about when that, like I said, that symbiotic relationship with a compelling vision. So the compelling vision, like in my case, is to reveal the exquisite, miraculous wonder of reality, to reveal that to people through the power of art and design and words. And in so doing, to help the world, to help people feel more connected to the miraculous, wondrous nature of life. To help them to be more fully expressed, more creative, to bring more creativity to life in the world. And that is, so for example, when I had that very first conversation with David Bowie on the phone about, whether he wanted to work with me, he'd already seen my work, for example. He'd already seen it. So he knew but the conversation was really to see if my vision met his vision. And this is the other thing, that when a compelling vision meets another compelling vision, they start to see that, can we merge? Can we work together? Can we cooperate? Can we, again, create this a third emergent quality out of the two? And that's what happens. Because the other thing is that in sharing your compelling vision, in telling your story, and connection to all of the things that you are, the experiences you are, the more of you that comes out, and the more this compelling vision and you become this mechanism, this force of nature, then that's why people come to you. They don't come to you because you can create a competent piece of art or even a beautiful piece of art. They come to you because there's an energetic something going on that is compelling, that has a beauty to it, that has a power, that has a wisdom, that has a something undefinable that can't be communicated through large language models. It's like a hidden extra layer of energy. Now, the truth is that AI will, if you're a jobbing creative, then, things are going to change. But I invite you to dig deep and discover what is the compelling vision that is looking to come through you. How can you show up in this world as a creative with something of intense meaning that moves people? It doesn't even have to be serious. Yeah, it sounds serious, but it doesn't have to be. It can be something that makes people guffaw with love, that brings joy and laughter to people. It can be something that, like I said, in my case, that reveals this extraordinary, miraculous quality of reality that most people, it just glides past most people. And somehow that can be communicated through art, through design and through language in a way that opens people up to something exceptional, something astonishing that they hadn't even thought was available to them. So you're transmitting energy. Sounds very, just sounds great, doesn't it? You're transmitting energy. This is an energetic game. Yeah. And you see, if you work on this basis, you always win, because when you're delivering your compelling vision through your creativity, through your art, you become the kind of person, it shapes you. You become the kind of person that delivers that kind of vision. So you do it because of who it's shaping you into, who you're evolving into as a result of actually doing it. So it's a moment by moment by moment. It's a practice. It's not a job. It's a practice. It's a gift. So that energy will give you, like I said, a resilience. It will give you a scope. It will allow you to see things that you hadn't seen before. It will give you the courage to make the connections, to reach out to people, to form communities, to bond with other people, to take the step of really connecting deeply because you have something that you really want to share with people. So I invite you to explore. I'll talk about more in other videos about how you can really, if you haven't got a compelling vision, how you can really start to open up to this. Now, it's not a 7-step process. It's far more magical and mysterious than that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's helped you. I hope it's given you something. So please don't subscribe or like. You know, all these normal things that people say, isn't it? Just like these routines that people go through. But if it has moved you in some way, just share it with another creative person. That's all you need to do. Yeah. Just share it with someone. Just say, look, have a look at this. See if it means something to you. See if it opens up a new possibility for you. So let's do this. Let's do this as creatives, as creators. Yeah. Let's build, let's channel this power, this energy, this vitas, this vital flame. Nothing can snuff that out if we keep it alive and vital. See you next time.